I welcome you all to yet another lecture on power electronics. In our previous lecture, we concluded the analysis of single-phase fully controlled converter or single-phase full converter for RLE type load, active load. And we considered its operation for alpha less than 90 degrees, that is the rectification mode of operation, and for alpha greater than 90 degrees, which is inversion mode of operation. Just summarizing, for example, if you have a single phase semi-converter, say you have semi-converter, and this semi-converter feeds an RLE type load. This is RLE, okay, RLE. What happens for alpha greater than 90 degrees? Why we don't get inversion mode of operation? The reason is very obvious. Because for inversion mode of operation, alpha greater than 90 degrees, say for example, this is your source voltage and alpha is greater than 90 degrees, your load voltage is something like this. The current will rise and it will fall. So therefore your load voltage from, this is alpha and this is pi, from alpha to pi your load voltage is this positive segment of voltage, and from pi to this beta, this is beta, this is pi, from pi to beta it is a small negative segment of voltage. The problem is that when alpha is greater than 90 degrees, you can see alpha is greater than 90 degrees here. Alpha is greater than, this is alpha, greater than 90 degrees. Current rises and it reaches maximum value somewhere here and then it falls. The rise of current means that energy is stored by the inductor, and fall of current means energy is released by the inductor of the load. So therefore you can see this is the positive segment of load voltage, this is the negative segment of load voltage. The current is not able to sustain. The problem is that if this is your load voltage VD, this is E. E always opposes the flow of current, load current. And since this E opposes the flow of current, it makes current quickly become equal to zero. So therefore, it's not possible for this load current to sustain. This is your load current ID and this is load voltage VD. Current rises and then it quickly falls to zero. Current does not sustain, it does not remain constant. Okay, because a small energy is stored in the inductor, and that is one reason when a small energy is stored in the inductor because of small positive half cycle of voltage, then inductor very quickly releases that energy. Not much energy is stored in the inductor, and time taken by inductor to release that energy is very, very small. It doesn't require much time. And second is this E opposes the flow of current, so it causes current to become zero quickly. So that is why for alpha greater than 90 degrees, you still get rectification mode of operation. That is VD, average output voltage, is still positive. That is not the case with full converter. If you take full converter, this is your full converter. In case of a full converter, what happens? This is R, this is L, and what you do to E? You reverse the polarity of E for inversion mode of operation, and you operate for alpha greater than 90 degrees. For alpha greater than 90 degrees, your average output voltage is negative. Whereas in semi-converter, even for alpha greater than 90 degrees, you can see average voltage is positive. Here, average, the output voltage is positive. Of course, our average output voltage VD is positive. Here, average output voltage VD is negative. So this is capital VD, I should write here, average output voltage. So the reason being, what makes now this negative average output voltage is possible if only if current would have been continuous. So what causes continuity of the current? It is this E which causes continuity in the flow of current. So that means if this is your source voltage 0, pi, 2 pi and so on, and your alpha is greater than 90 degrees, so this is alpha greater than 90 degrees. Okay, so current starts rising from here. Let me show you. This is first instant of firing, this is next instant of firing, and so on. So current starts rising from this point to this point. Current rises and then it falls, but before it becomes zero, it again rises, and then it falls. So that means current is continuous. This is your load current ID, it is continuous. What makes current continuous is very interesting. So this is your load current ID. Now you can see here you have the source, load has its own source of EMF, E. And this source of EMF aids the flow of current. Whereas in semiconductor, this EMF was opposing the flow of current. Here, the direction of current, the polarity of voltage, you can see the polarity of voltage is like this. And current also flows in the same direction. That means this polarity of voltage. The load EMF or load back EMF or load voltage, it aids, supports the flow of current. That's why your current remains continuous. Even if energy stored in inductor is for very small time, and this inductor should have released energy very soon, and current could have become zero somewhere here, but because this E is greater than Vd, this E supports the flow of current. It is this E, that is the energy, that is the voltage source, voltage of the or EMF of the load, which causes continuous conduction of the flow of current, which causes current to flow for a larger period, and current remains continuous. As a result of this, your load voltage is like this: small positive segment and a large negative segment, and again small positive segment and a large negative segment. So previously also the load voltage was negative. So therefore, what is your average output voltage? Average output voltage is negative. You can see because negative voltage segments are more than positive voltage segments. So for full converter with alpha greater than 90 degrees, average output voltage is not positive, it is negative. So I repeat, negative average output voltage is possible only if current flows for a very large period. Here current becomes zero quickly, so that negative voltage is less than positive voltage segment and average output voltage is positive. But if current remains there for a longer period, your negative segment of voltage will become more than positive segment of voltage and average output voltage will become negative. That is not possible in case of semi-converter. That occurs in full converter, because in case of full converter, this E supports the this E causes flow of current for a larger period. Okay, this supports the flow of current, and since this E supports the flow of current, current does not become zero, it remains continuous. This gives continuous conduction mode of operation, and because of continuous conduction mode of operation, negative segment of voltage becomes much larger than positive segments of voltage, and average output voltage becomes negative, and hence converter operates in inversion mode of operation. Now you may ask a question, why not to make E negative here in case of semi-converter also? Because if you make E negative, this will also support current. Yes, I agree with you. In this case, this will also support the current because for semi-converter, I'm sorry, for semi-converter, there is no negative segment of voltage. In case of a semi-converter, there is thyristor conduction mode followed by freewheeling mode. Now, if you reverse the polarity of voltage in a semi-converter, it will support the flow of current, and in case of a semi-converter also, current will become continuous like this. But what will be the nature of voltage? It will be positive for small period, and then there will be freewheeling interval. And since there is freewheeling interval, what is your load voltage? Load voltage is always zero. It's not. So even if current is continuous there, but negative segment of voltage never appears across the load, because for a semi-converter, because of the freewheeling action, negative voltage does not appear. See, from alpha to pi, there is thyristor conduction mode, and from pi to, say, this is pi plus alpha, there is freewheeling mode. Since freewheeling mode is there for a larger period, so negative voltage during freewheeling mode does not appear. So freewheeling mode means your load is shorted by devices and load voltage is zero. So average output voltage here still remains positive. So whether alpha is, whether E is having this polarity for a semi-converter or E is having this polarity, average output voltage will always remain positive. Whereas for a full converter, if E has this polarity, it may make current discontinuous, as we have seen in the previous case. And making current discontinuous means average output voltage will be positive. But if you reverse the polarity of this load EMF, as I have done here, this supports the flow of current for a longer period. So current becomes continuous, and because of continuous conduction of the current, negative voltage segment will be much larger than positive segment of voltage. So average output voltage will be negative. So therefore, it is only because of the presence of this E that your average output voltage becomes negative. If this E would not have been there, then your average output voltage would have been positive, because in that case, the negative segment of voltage, say for example, if E would not have been there, and for alpha greater than 90 degrees, you have already seen in one of the previous lectures, this would have been the load voltage. for alpha greater than 90 degree with only R and L without E. Positive segment of voltage is more than negative segment of voltage, average output voltage is still positive. But as soon as you put E there and make alpha greater than 90 degrees and reverse the polarity of E, E makes current continuous and negative segment of voltage remains there for a longer period than positive segment of voltage. So average output voltage is negative. So therefore, inversion mode of operation is possible only in case of an active load, a load which has its own energy source, which has its own voltage, its own EMF. So I hope that's clear. So this is in continuity or in continuation with what we have discussed in the previous lecture. This is just to clear any doubts. Now, in the inversion mode of operation, as you already know, your equivalent circuit of converter is like this. In the inversion mode of operation, this is minus and this is plus. And converter average output voltage is Vd. And this is your load. Let us assume load is a DC motor. This is your separately excited DC motor. This is the field winding of DC motor, which is separately excited. This is field EMF, field voltage, and this is field current. And this field currents, for example, results in the back EMF plus minus like this. Motor is running at certain speed, omega m. This is armature circuit resistance, this is armature circuit inductance, and this is back EMF of the motor. Now, you are operating your converter at alpha greater than 90 degrees. Just now we have seen for alpha greater than 90 degrees, average output voltage is negative. So this is your Vd. And since your average output voltage is negative, for inversion mode of operation, your back EMF should also be negative. This terminal should be positive with respect to this. And since current is flowing in this direction, to make current flow from EB to Vd. So this is your EB, for example, and this is your Vd. To make current to flow from EB to Vd, current like this, EB should be greater than Vd. Okay, so that can be adjusted. If you know what is EB, you can adjust the delay angle in such a way. Of course, delay angle is greater than 90 degrees, but delay angle can be maintained in such a way that Vd is less than EB or EB is greater than Vd and current flows in this direction, and hence inversion mode of operation takes place. Now, previously your motor was having this back EMF during rectification mode of operation for alpha less than 90 degrees, and as soon as you want inversion mode of operation, you make alpha greater than 90 degrees. So average output voltage of converter becomes negative, and polarity of the motor induced EMF or motor back EMF should also reverse. It should now become plus minus like this, and then inversion will take place. Power flow from load to source will take place. Now the question is, if this is your back EMF of the motor and plus minus previously it was like this, how to reverse its polarity during inversion mode of operation? During rectification mode of operation, its polarity is like this, plus minus. During inversion mode of operation, now its polarity should reverse. This terminal should become positive with respect to this. How is this possible? This can be done by two methods. EB can become negative, EB can be made negative by two ways. Number one, by reversing the direction of field current. See, for positive EB, field current was flowing in this direction. If direction of field current is reversed, flux reverses in the machine, and that makes EB negative. Now the question is, how can we reverse that direction of field current? That is possible only if you interchange the field terminals. Like for example, agar aapke field terminals ye hai, say this is F and this is FF, and field is excited say by a DC source. This is field voltage VF, and current is flowing like this. Now I want reverse direction of current. I want current to flow in this direction. So in that case, so what will happen? This is your field winding, and this is field voltage plus minus VF. In that case, this F should be got connected to negative terminal, and FF, this is FF, should be got connected to positive terminal. So isme what will happen to your field circuit? Field circuit ab is tarah ho jayega. This is now connected to negative, this is now connected to positive, FF, and direction of field current changes. So therefore you should have a mechanical switch there. With the help of mechanical switch, you will open the switch first and then you will flip the field connections like this. Earlier, F was connected to positive terminal of field voltage and FF to negative terminal. For reversing the direction of field current, F should be now connected to negative terminal and FF positive. So that means you have to open first connection and then you have to exchange the field terminals. You have to flip the field connections. So when you do that, two things will take place. As soon as you open the switch, field is a highly inductive circuit, you are breaking the field current. So previously certain amount of field current was flowing. When you open the switch, field current certainly will become zero and DIF by dt will become very, very large, and that will result in large voltage across the field winding. Okay, that is because you are breaking the inductive circuit. And second problem is that as soon as you reverse the direction of field current, previously field current was flowing in this direction, now it has to flow in this direction. The current takes time to reverse from one direction to another because field is a highly inductive circuit, and for a highly inductive circuit, the change of current from one direction to another direction takes time. So that results in sluggish response, slow response of your motor. Okay, so therefore flipping the field terminals this way is not practicable way. Another way is flip the armature terminals itself. See, these are your armature terminals. This is positive, this is negative, this is back EMF, and it is connected to converter. यहाँ से आपका converter है. Say you have a phase controlled converter. This is plus minus. Now this is your VD. You have to make this terminal positive with respect to this. How can we do that? That can be done like this. This is armature terminal, and this is say this is your converter average output voltage. What you will do? You will connect this negative this to this and positive here. So therefore, positive, this negative will come here and this positive will come here. So therefore, what will happen to back EMF? Back EMF will reverse. So therefore, what you are doing? You are reversing the connections. This becomes positive, this becomes negative like this. इसके लिए भी आपको first you have to open the switch. You may have a contactor, a mechanical switch. You have to open and then you have to flip the armature terminals. And since armature current is very large, it can be of the order of hundreds of amperes depending upon the load driven by the motor. And when you are opening the switch, you are interrupting a very high current. Say there were 200 amperes of armature current flowing and you are suddenly opening the switch. The rate of fall of current will be very, very high. So di by dt will be very large, and that will also result in large voltage across the switch terminals, and a vicious sparking will take place across the terminals of the contactor, across the switch terminals, and that may damage the switch. And then you may flip the connections. So that means reversing the back EMF, I repeat, can be done by two ways. Number one, flipping the field terminals, changing the direction of field current, which is not practicable. And number two, keeping the field current in the same direction. IF, this terminal positive with respect to this, flipping the terminals of armature itself. Okay, flipping the armature terminals. And that is also very difficult because when you are flipping the armature terminals, you have to break, you have to first open the switch and then you have to interchange or exchange or flip the armature terminals. And when you open the switch, you are breaking an inductive circuit, and that will cause large voltage across the switch and vicious sparking across the switch. So therefore, reversing the polarity of voltage by these two ways, by flipping the field terminals or by flipping the armature terminals, is not a practical way. Okay, how this can be done practically? This can be done by using another type of converter, which is called dual converter. But before I come to dual converter, I want to add one very important thing. The question is, why do we want to reverse? Why do we want? The question is, if your converter was operating in conversion rectification mode of operation, why do you want inversion mode of operation? What I mean to say is that if this is your converter, I am showing the block diagram or schematic diagram of converter, fully controlled converter, and this is the motor. Converter average output voltage is plus minus VD. Current, armature current is say ID. This is armature resistance, armature inductance, and back EMF of armature is back EMF of motor is EB, and this is the field current for a separately excited DC motor. Now, voltage is positive, average load voltage is positive, load current is positive, so your converter operates in first quadrant. I mean, the power is positive, that means the AC, from the AC source power is drawn, that is converted into DC, and that DC power is fed to the motor. What will motor do? Motor will convert this DC electrical power into mechanical power, develop the torque, and it will start rotating. It will develop the torque and say in this clockwise direction, and motor will start running in the clockwise direction at a speed, say that is called motor speed as omega m. So that is fine. Now some situations arise in practice where your motor sometimes operates as a generator and you want to stop the motor. One example is, suppose your motor is driving a vehicle. This is the vehicle and a large steep slope is there. Previously it was running on a plain road, and suddenly a steep slope is there. Now you are say this is your electric vehicle which is driven by, say for example, DC motor, say same DC separately excited motor, and your vehicle moves now down the gradient, down the slope. When it moves down the gradient, because of the gravity, the speed of the vehicle will increase. Okay, and speed of the vehicle when it increases, omega m increases, and because of increase in omega m, you know this back EMF of the motor is directly proportional to speed. Back EMF will increase. So when this back EMF increases, this back EMF becomes more than, so since back EMF increases, it becomes more than converter average output voltage. So that means your motor is now generating the electrical power. It was previously it was taking power from the source. VD was greater than EB and current was flowing in this direction. Now EB is because your vehicle is moving down the gradient. Speed of vehicle is vehicle overspeeds. Because of overspeed, EB increases and EB becomes greater than VD. That means now motor generates the energy because of the gravity pull. It is moving very fast down the gradient, and the motor works as a generator, and it generates the electrical energy, because of which back EMF becomes more than VD. Now when back EMF becomes more than VD, the current direction of current should reverse. But I told you in previous lecture also, the direction of current in a converter fed DC motor drive is not possible, because this converter will not allow direction of current in this direction. I mean current flow in this direction. Current will always flow in same direction, because this converter comprises of SCRs, thyristors, and thyristors conduct from anode to cathode. Current cannot flow from cathode to anode. So therefore a reversal of direction of current is not possible. So therefore whatever energy is generated by this motor while going down the gradient, it is working as a generator. I want that this energy should be fed back to the source. How can I do that? That I can do if I operate this converter now at alpha greater than 90 degrees. When I operate it at alpha greater than 90 degrees, what will happen to average output voltage? Average output voltage of converter will become negative like this, and simultaneously what I will do, I will reverse the polarity of the back EMF by some way. Okay, when I reverse the polarity of the back EMF, now I already know my vehicle is going down gradient, it is moving at a very fast speed, and it is generating voltage EB, which is greater than converter average output voltage. And since EB is greater than VD, current should flow from EB to VD. Now it is possible for current to flow from EB to VD. This is EB, this is VD. Since EB is greater than VD, current will flow from EB to VD. As far as direction of current is concerned, it flows from anode to cathode. Direction of current does not reverse. What reverses is polarity of the voltage. Now what is your power? Load power is voltage into current, and since polarity of voltage has reversed, it's minus, so load power is negative. Negative power means now whatever energy is generated by this motor as a generator, now that energy is fed back to the source. And therefore when this motor operates as a generator and generates the energy while moving down the gradient, it generates the energy, feeds that energy through this converter back to the source. It operates in the inversion mode of operation, and power flows from load to source, not from source to load. And power is negative. Negative power means it is flowing from load to source. Previously, for the rectification mode, power was flowing from source to load, and your machine was operating as a motor. It was developing the torque and causing motor to causing motor speed, say, in clockwise direction. And when vehicle is moving down the gradient, your motor overspeeds and it generates its own energy, and EB becomes greater than VD, and you operate your converter in the inversion mode of operation. And in the inversion mode of operation, the polarity of output voltage, average output voltage, reverses, and you also flip the armature terminal. So EB also you reverse. EB is greater than VD and current flows in this direction. Current flows from EB to VD. That means power is flowing back from DC to AC. So that means your motor is now, your machine is not operating as a motor, it is operating as a generator. And whatever energy, because of the gravity pull, whatever, because of overspeeding, whatever energy it is generating, it is feeding that energy back to the source. And from your machines course, you must have already been taught, and I hope you remember that when the machine operates as a generator, it develops a torque in clockwise direction, and that causes speed in clockwise. And when the same machine operates as a generator, speed remains same. The direction of electromagnetic torque developed by the machine reverses. As a motor, the direction of torque is one. As a generator, the direction of electromagnetic torque reverses. So therefore now this machine, since it operates as a generator in the inversion mode of operation, so what will happen to the direction of torque? Direction of torque will reverse. So you can see electromagnetic torque reverses, but motor runs in the same direction. So vehicle goes down, and since this torque is in the opposite direction, it acts as a braking torque on the motor. It tries to brake the motor. You can see direction of torque is opposite to the direction of motion of the motor. So it acts as a braking torque. उससे क्या होगा, your vehicle, which would have otherwise overspeeded very much, and it would have been very difficult to control the speed of the vehicle because of the overspeeding, because of your machine is now operating as a generator. As a generator, it is supplying energy back to the source, and electromagnetic torque developed by machine as a generator is opposite to that developed as a motor. So the direction of electromagnetic torque reverses. It opposes the motion or speed. So therefore it acts as a braking torque, and therefore your vehicle doesn't overspeed. It goes down the gradient slowly. So advantage is that you are not allowing your vehicle to overspeed, number one. And number two, whatever energy you are generating, that energy you are not wasting, you are supplying that energy back to the source. This is one application. Another application is a hoist. A hoist takes some load from, say, ground level to some height. Okay, so it is driven by, say, a DC motor. So to take load from this height to from ground level to some height, you need to run the machine as a motor. So in that case, if your motor is this separately excited DC motor, it is fed by a single phase fully controlled converter or full converter. You operate this converter at alpha less than 90 degrees, and this converter produces an average output voltage which is positive, and direction of back EMF is also positive like this, and current VD is greater than EB. Current flows in this direction. That means power comes from AC. The converter converts that AC power into DC power and gives that power to the motor. Motor consumes that power, converts that electrical power into mechanical power, develops the torque and starts running. And when machine starts running as a motor, the hoist moves up. और hoist पे जो load आपने रखा है, it takes that load up. तो ऊपर जब एक certain height पे ये load पहुंच गया, that's all, your job is done. तो उसके बाद आपको ये hoist नीचे लाना है वापस for next job. Say next load आपको ऊपर ले जाना है, फिर वापस लाना है, and again you have to take next load up, and then so once it has taken certain load up and its job is done, now it has to come down. When it comes down like this, and gravity, there's a strong gravity pull. Because of gravity, it will come down very quickly, and it may come down so quickly that it may strike the surface of the earth and it may get damaged. The hoist may get damaged. So therefore, when the hoist is coming down, our aim should be that it should not come down at a very high speed, it should come down slowly. And therefore, when the hoist comes down, what happens? It initially overspeeds. When it overspeeds, omega m increases, back EMF increases, and your back EMF becomes more than VD. And that means when the hoist comes down from height, okay, now it is not the motor which is driving the load, it is the load which is driving the motor because of the gravity. Because of the gravity, your hoist is coming down very quickly and your motor overspeeds. Now your motor is operating as a generator, not as a motor. Okay, your machine is operating as a generator and it is generating a voltage EB which is greater than the converter average output voltage, and therefore current should flow from EB to VD, but current direction cannot reverse. So what we do? Alpha V make greater than 90 degrees. We operate this converter in the inversion mode of operation. So polarity of voltage reverses, and simultaneously what we do? We reverse the polarity of back EMF. Now since EB is greater than VD, when the hoist is quickly coming down, it's overspeeding. EB and the machine is operating as a generator. EB is greater than VD, it injects current against VD. So therefore, as a generator, when this machine comes down at a very high speed, it generates the energy, and that energy is, that flows from DC to AC side, and then that goes back through this converter, that is fed back to the source. So therefore, your machine now operates as a generator, and when this energy generated is fed back to the source as a generator, the direction of electromagnetic torque developed by the machine reverses and it opposes the motion of the machine. So therefore it again acts as a braking torque. So therefore your hoist, instead of coming down very dangerous at a very high speed, dangerous speed, it comes down slowly because of this braking torque. So this is called regenerative braking. Regenerative braking. So we are actually braking the motor. Braking does not mean we are stopping the motor. We are slowing down it when it comes down from a certain height. And simultaneously, the advantage is, number one, because of the regenerative braking, because the machine is now operating as a generator and your converter is operating at alpha greater than 90 degrees, it's operating in the inversion mode of operation. And then in the inversion mode of operation, energy flows from DC side to AC side. So whatever energy is generated by this machine as a generator, that is fed back to the source. This is called regenerative braking. And why it is called braking? Because the direction of electromagnetic torque in the generating mode is opposite to the direction of electromagnetic torque in the motoring mode. So direction of electromagnetic torque is opposite to the motion of the machine. So it slows down the machine. So therefore from height, machine comes down slowly at safe speeds, and simultaneously whatever energy you are generating, which is called braking energy, you are not wasting that braking energy, you are feeding that back to the source. This is called regenerative braking. The advantage is that braking energy is not wasted, it is fed back to the source. What would have been the, if this regenerative braking was not there, what would have been the other method of slowing down the hoist when it comes down from some height? Use mechanical brake. You could have applied certain mechanical brake so that when the hoist comes down, it comes down at low speed, at safe speed. But when you apply mechanical brake, you are actually, with mechanical braking, you are wasting the energy as friction. Okay, but instead of using mechanical braking, we are using the electrical braking, regenerative braking. And in regenerative braking, you are slowing down the motor, you are applying a sort of electrical braking, and simultaneously the braking energy is not wasted, it is fed back to the source. So there is saving in the energy. This is called regenerative braking. Another example is a sugar mill. This regenerative braking is used in a sugar mill. In a sugar mill, we use a motor of 100 kilowatts rating or more. A very large motor is used which drives load. And there is the load, and that load is used for this processing, and that processing is used to produce the sugar. And this load in a sugar mill, it's high inertia load. High inertia load means the inertia constant is very, very large. So that means the speed d omega by dt, if you remember, that is given by electromagnetic torque minus load torque by J. I hope you have been taught this in your electrical machines course. This is the rate, this shows the acceleration of the machine. I mean, when you turn the motor on, its speed slowly increases, and the acceleration, the rate at which the speed increases, d omega by dt, is given by this equation. TL is the load torque, T is the electromagnetic torque. Electromagnetic torque minus load torque by J. J is called inertial constant. It is inertia constant. And this J in case of sugar mill is very, very large. sugar mill load is considered a high inertia load. That means when the motor starts accelerating, it accelerates slowly because of high inertia of the load. Fine. Now suppose motor has reached steady state speed and say some process is going on, and now you want to stop the motor. Okay. In order, how can you stop the motor? The simplest way of stopping the motor is disconnect it, switch off the power supply to the motor. When you switch off power supply to the motor, okay, so power supply to the motor P is equal to 0. You are switching off the motor, power supply to the motor. So when no electricity, no electrical power is supplied to the motor, I mean if your motor is supplied through a converter, this is the source, you are switching it off, you are not supplying any energy to the motor, power is off, turned off. So what will happen to electromagnetic torque? Electromagnetic torque developed by motor is 0 because it is not receiving any electrical power, you have switched off the power supply. So therefore what is the rate at which the speed is decreasing? T is 0, so it is minus TL by J. Since in a sugar mill, the load is having high inertia constant. It's a high inertia load. J is very, very large, so the rate at which the motor speed goes down. Previously motor was running and load was running at full speed. Now you have switched off the supply. Now motor and load start decelerating. And they decelerate at a very low rate. The speed at which the motor, the rate of fall of speed is very, very slow because J of the load is very high. And let me share one very important fact with you. It is reported that in a sugar mill, if you stop the load and motor like this, it takes about 90 minutes for motor and its load to stop. 90 minutes, which means 1.5 hours. If this is 10 a.m. right now and you switch off the motor, at 10:30 a.m. you have to wait for 1.5 hours approximately till your motor and load comes to a standstill. They stop. So the speed at which your motor and load decreases is very, very low because of high inertia of the load. So you have to wait for 1.5 hours till your whole process stops. Motor stops, it comes to a stop, standstill, because of high inertia nature of sugar mill load. Okay. Now you cannot wait for 1.5 hours for your motor and your load to stop, and then you have to again start it after some time. And when you start it and then you have to again stop, for every stop you have to wait for 1.5 hours, and that will slow down your production process. So therefore what do we want? We want quick stopping of the motor, and quick stopping is possible if you go for regenerative, either mechanical braking or regenerative braking. See, in mechanical braking you are again disconnecting power supply to the motor and then you are applying mechanical brake. When you are applying mechanical brake, motor comes to stop very quickly. But the problem with mechanical braking system is that when you apply the mechanical brake, because of the friction in the mechanical braking, all the braking energy you are wasting. You are wasting all the braking energy. Aapka motor high speed pe ja raha tha, your load also. Now you are applying mechanical brake. The kinetic energy of motor and its load you are wasting as heat, because brake shoe presses against the brake drum, and because of the friction, a lot of heat is generated, and all the braking energy you are wasting. Is there any possibility of saving this braking energy, sending it back to the source? Yes, if you go for regenerative braking. So now in regenerative braking, what do? You are not disconnecting source from, you are not disconnecting your motor from the source. Okay. Previously, your machine was operating as a motor and your converter was operating at alpha less than 90 degrees and it was operating in the rectification mode of operation with this polarity of the voltage. And direction of back EMF was also like this. Your machine was receiving energy, power from the source, and it was converting that electrical energy into mechanical energy, developing a torque, electromagnetic torque in this direction, which was resulting in speed, which was resulting in the rotation of the machine, say in the clockwise direction. Fine. Now you want to stop the motor and it's load. What will you do? You will not disconnect the motor from source and apply mechanical brake. No mechanical brake will be applied. You will not disconnect motor from the source. You will continue to connect, your system will remain connected to the source. You are not switching off the supply. What you are doing, you are now making this converter operate in the inversion mode. For inversion mode, you are making alpha greater than 90 degrees, As soon as you make alpha greater than 90 degrees, since this is a full converter or fully controlled converter, the average load voltage reverses. And simultaneously, what you do, you also change the polarity of the back EMF. Okay? And you adjust the delay angle in such a way that this VD alpha is greater than 90 degrees, no doubt. But you adjust the alpha at such a value that VD is less than back EMF of the motor, which means EB is greater than VD. And because of that, current is flowing in the same direction. And since EB is greater than VD, current is flowing from this source, EB source to VD source. Since it's flowing from this to this, that means your machine is supplying, the energy. It is supplying energy back to the source through the converter. This the energy here is, say, VD into ID. What is the power? Power is minus VD into ID. It is negative power. That means the machine is now operating as a generator. And as a generator, it is, how much power is it generating? Minus VD into ID, which is negative. And that power through the converter is fed back to the source. So therefore, now your same machine which was in the rectification mode operating as a motor, now in the inversion mode, the machine is supplying energy back to the source. That means it is acting as a generator. And as a generator, what will happen to direction of electromagnetic torque? The torque developed by machine will be reversed. It will be opposite to the motion of the motor. Speed, machine is running in the clockwise direction, but torque is developed in the anti-clockwise direction. So this torque acts as a braking torque, and it slows down your motor very quickly. Depending upon the magnitude of this torque, you can very quickly stop the motor. So therefore, what is the rate of deceleration of motor? Rate of deceleration of motor. Now your electromagnetic torque has reversed its direction. So instead of writing plus T, we will write minus T. For motoring mode, it is plus T. For generating mode, it is minus T. Minus T minus TL. So this is minus times TE plus TL by J. So this is the rate of deceleration of the motor. And since this electromagnetic torque is very, very large, it applies a large electrical braking on the machine, and the rate of decrease of speed is very fast, and the machine very quickly stops. It comes to a stop. It decelerates very quickly because of this electromagnetic torque, which is opposite to which opposes the motion of the machine and its load, because of regenerative braking. Because your machine is now operating as a generator, it is applying a braking torque on your machine, and very quickly it slows down the machine and stops the machine. So therefore, the machine, which previously was taking about 1.5 hours, that is 90 minutes to stop, it may take a few minutes to stop only, maybe 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or even less than that, depending upon what is the magnitude, magnitude of electromagnetic torque. So machine very quickly comes to its stop. So there are two advantages. Number one, you are very quickly stopping the motor, the machine and its connected load, very quick stopping. You don't have to wait for 1.5 hours. And second advantage is that you are not applying mechanical brake and wasting the energy. You are applying electrical braking. What type of braking? Regenerative braking. And in regenerative braking, the machine is operating as a generator, and the braking energy, it's not wasting, it is supplying braking energy back to the source. So there is a lot of saving in the energy. So this is why you operate your converter in the inversion mode of operation. So whenever regenerative braking is required, you operate your machine in the regenerative braking mode. Or whenever regenerative braking is required, you operate your converter in the inversion mode of operation. When machine has to operate in the motoring mode, you operate your converter for alpha less than 90 degrees, that means in the rectification mode of operation, and power flows from AC side to DC side, and machine consumes that power and acts as a motor and drives the load. And when you have to stop this machine, you have to slow down it, you have to stop it, you have to apply regenerative braking. In that case, this machine has to operate as a generator, and the braking energy has to go back to the source. So that is possible only if you operate your converter in the inversion mode of operation. And in the inversion mode of operation, you make alpha greater than 90 degrees. Average output voltage of the machine, of the converter, it becomes negative. Back EMF also you make negative, and EB is greater than VD. So energy flows from load to source. And when energy flows from load to source, that means your machine is not operating as a motor. As motor, it is consuming energy. Now it is operating as a generator, because as generator, it is supplying energy back to the source. And as a generator, the direction of electromagnetic torque reverses and it acts as a braking torque and it quickly stops the motor. So two advantages of regenerative braking are: number one, motor comes to a stop very quickly, and number two, braking energy is not wasted, it is supplied back to the source. So there is a lot of saving in the energy. So that is why these are the situations where you operate converter in the inversion mode of operation. Whenever regenerative braking is required, you make alpha greater than 90 degrees and your converter operates in the inversion mode of operation, and energy flows from load to source. I hope that's clear. Now the question is how to reverse the polarity of back EMF. Okay, how to reverse the polarity of back EMF of motor for regeneration, for inversion mode of operation. Two methods I have already discussed with you. Number one, flip the field circuit terminals. Field circuit terminals. This is your field circuit. This is plus. F was previously connected to positive terminal, FF to negative terminal, and field current was flowing in this direction, and back EMF of the motor was positive. So this was back EMF of the motor. Now in order to reverse the back EMF of the motor, one method is you flip the field terminals. Now this field terminal is connected to negative and this FF is connected to positive. Now what will be the direction of field current? It will reverse. And because direction of field current has reversed, back EMF will also reverse. Back EMF will be. This is one method. But for doing this, you must have a mechanical switch, a contactor, which will first open the field terminals and then flip field terminals. Connect F to negative terminal of source and FF to positive terminal. This is not a practical way because of two reasons. Number one, when you disconnect, when you open the switch, you are making field current become zero quickly, and there will be large di by dt, and that will cause large voltage across the switch terminals and large sparking. And number two, when field current, field terminals polarity you are reversing, the field current will start flowing in the reverse direction, and field current takes time to increase to steady state value because of highly inductive nature of field circuit. So the response of the drive or response of the machine will be slow or sluggish. So therefore this is not the practical way of reversing the polarity of back EMF. Flipping field circuit terminals, it's not practical way of doing it. What is the other method? Flip the armature circuit terminals themselves. Flip the armature circuit terminals. So again, if previously your machine was operating as a motor in the motoring mode, okay, and this was the direction of field current. If this is armature terminal A, this is AA. Now we are not flipping the field terminals. What we do, we flip the armature terminals themselves. So therefore, what we will do now, we will flip the armature terminals themselves. Now this is plus, this is minus. अब आपका AA पॉजिटिव हो जाता है और A नेगेटिव हो जाता है. It's possible only अगर आपने आर्मेचर टर्मिनल्स ऐसे फ्लिप किए, A को नेगेटिव के साथ कनेक्ट किया और AA को पॉजिटिव के साथ कनेक्ट किया. Previously in the motoring mode, in the rectification mode, A is here connected to positive terminal and A is connected to negative terminal. For flipping it, for reversing the polarity of back EMF, you have to flip these terminals. A को यहाँ लाइए, A को नेगेटिव के साथ कनेक्ट कर लीजिए, A को पॉजिटिव के साथ. So flip the armature terminal. उसके लिए भी you need a mechanical switch or contactor. When you open that contactor, you are basically breaking a huge armature current. And since you are suddenly opening the switch, di by dt is very, very large. That will result in huge voltage across the contactor terminals and sparking, and that may damage the mechanical switch. Okay, so therefore this method is also not practicable. This method of reversing the polarity of back EMF by reversing the armature terminals is also not practicable. Now the question is then how we can go from motoring mode to generating mode, or rectification mode to inversion mode. How can we reverse the polarity of back EMF of the machine? It can be done without any mechanical switch by using another type of converter which is called dual converter. So that is our topic of discussion today. We'll discuss single phase dual converter. A dual converter comprises of two full converters which are connected back to back. Okay, like this. Let us draw the power circuit diagram first. This is source voltage Vs. These are thyristors T1, T2, T3 and T4. And our load is here. Say we will again take DC motor as a load. These are the motor terminals. This is back EMF of the motor EB. This is armature resistance, armature circuit inductance, or armature current is, for example, IA. Okay, fine. So on the other side we have another converter, fully controlled converter or full converter. That's connected like this. The same source Vs, this and this source is same. This is T1 dash, T2 dash, T3 dash, T4 dash. This converter is converter C1 and this converter is converter C2. And what is load output voltage of this converter? Output voltage of this converter is VD1 plus minus, and output voltage of this converter is VD2 plus minus again. So therefore load voltage is plus minus VD, and load current is, let's call this load current as ID. Now therefore your single phase dual converter or a dual converter comprises of two fully controlled converters, two full converters. One is this converter C1 and another is converter C2. They are connected back to back and load is connected directly across them in this way. In this case our load is a DC motor again, and therefore it will, you can run the motor in rectification, you can run the machine in motoring mode or in generating mode. Okay, so before I discuss the operation of dual converter, very important to discuss something called quadrant operation we do. This is armature current IA, let us call this armature current ID, and this is motor voltage, average output voltage VD. This is minus ID, this is minus VD. This is quadrant 1, this is quadrant 2, this is quadrant 3, this is quadrant 4. Your machine can operate in all the 4 quadrants. How? I will explain that. This is quadrant 1 operation, this is quadrant 2 operation, this is quadrant 3 operation, and this is quadrant 4 operation. See, in quadrant 1, the voltage across your machine is positive, average voltage is positive. You can see voltage is positive, and current is also positive. That means current is flowing like this. So therefore, what is power of the motor? Load power, PD. That is voltage into current. Since both are positive, power is positive. That means your machine is drawing power from the source and it is converting that electrical power into mechanical power, and it is developing a torque. Let us suppose this is the torque, electromagnetic torque in the clockwise direction, and machine starts running as a motor in the, and this is the direction of speed, clockwise. It's a machine runs in the clockwise direction because machine will run in the same direction as the torque torque is developed in the clockwise direction, machine runs in the same direction. So in this case, we say that the machine is operating as a motor. It is running in the motoring mode. And this is called forward motoring mode. I will write here, in quadrant 1, your machine operates in forward motoring mode. Forward motoring mode. FMM, forward motoring mode. So your machine is running in the clockwise direction. Now after some time, I want my machine to run in the anti-clockwise. There are many applications where you have to run the machine first in one direction and then in another direction. Many applications are there. One of the applications is your washing machine. Your washing machine, in the washing machine, first your load runs in one direction, then in another direction. Although we don't use DC motor in washing machines, but this is just an example. Similarly, there are many examples. Lift, first motor runs in one direction, then in another direction. There are many applications where the machine is supposed to first run in clockwise direction and then clockwise direction, and then in anti-clock or counterclockwise direction. So in the first quadrant, our machine is running in the clockwise direction, and now after some time, I want my machine to run in the anti-clockwise direction. So when it is running in the clockwise direction, it is running at full speed. So first I have to decrease its speed. I have to brake it. I mean, you cannot make your machine, it cannot be like this and then this. If machine is running in clockwise direction, first you have to slow it down like this. When it stops, and then you have to run it in the anti-clockwise direction. So that means if your machine is operating in forward motoring mode, then you have to brake the machine first. For that purpose, you will run your machine in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, average load voltage is positive, but load current is negative. So what is power? Power is voltage into current. Since current is negative, voltage is positive, so your power is negative. Negative power means your machine is now operating as a generator. Positive power means it is consuming the energy, it is consuming power. And negative power means it is supplying the power. So therefore, this is same as regenerative braking. Okay, so since it is the power, motor power or machine power is negative, that means it is generating the power and supplying that power back to the source. And when it is supplying power back to the source, what will happen to direction of electromagnetic torque? In motoring mode, electromagnetic torque was in clockwise direction. Now in regeneration mode, electromagnetic torque will be in anti-clockwise direction. But motor will continue to run in the same direction, clockwise direction. Now since torque is opposing the motion, so therefore what will happen to the machine? It will slowly, slow down, and finally it will come to stop. So therefore in quadrant 2, your machine gets braked. I mean, it is braked. So this mode is called forward regeneration mode. Your machine operates in regeneration mode and braking of the machine takes place. I will write quadrant 2 is forward regeneration mode. Forward regeneration mode. FRM, forward regeneration mode. And once the machine has stopped, it has come to stop. Now it is time for machine to run in the opposite. See, in first quadrant, forward motoring mode, it was acting as a motor, it was running at full speed in one direction. Then you have to run it in the opposite, but first you have to stop it. So therefore you go from quadrant 1 to quadrant 2. In quadrant 2, the machine acts as a generator, supplies energy back to the source. So that means the regenerative braking is taking place and it is slowing down. Finally, it comes to a stop. Once it comes to a stop, then it has to run in the opposite direction. So therefore, in the opposite direction, power should again be positive, but it should be, in the opposite direction. So therefore, it should now run in quadrant 3. In quadrant 3, your average output voltage is negative, current is also negative. So what is load power? It is negative voltage into negative current. So minus into minus is plus, so power is again positive. But since average output voltage is negative, current is also negative. So therefore, machine will develop now torque the torque is in the anti-clockwise direction, like this. And since here in the quadrant 2, machine has already stopped, now it will start accelerating in the reverse direction, omega m. In forward motoring mode, it was running in the clockwise direction, and in reverse motoring mode, since direction of electromagnetic torque is opposite to this, so machine will start now running in the reverse direction. So this is called reverse motoring mode. In quadrant 3, your machine is operating in reverse motoring mode. RMM, reverse motoring mode. And then after some time we again want machine which was operating in, say, which was running in anti-clockwise direction. We want it now again to run in clockwise direction. So it is not possible to instantly make it go from anti-clockwise direction to clockwise direction. So if it is running at a very high speed in anti-clockwise direction, you have to slow it down and stop it first, and then it has to be run in the clockwise direction. So therefore it will go from quadrant 3 to quadrant 4. In quadrant 4, average output voltage is still negative, but current changes its polarity. So therefore, what is load power? Load power is voltage, which is negative, multiplied by current, which is positive. So load power is again negative, because minus into plus is minus. So negative load power means your machine is again operating as a generator, generating the braking energy, sending that braking energy back to the source. So therefore, what will be the directional? So that means your machine is operating as a generator. So this is regenerative braking. So therefore, direction of electromagnetic torque, which was anti-clockwise, now it will be clockwise direction of electromagnetic torque, but machine will continue to run in the anti-clockwise direction. But now we can see electromagnetic torque is opposing the motion. So therefore, machine will slow down and finally it will come to a stop. So therefore, in this fourth quadrant, your machine is operating in reverse regeneration mode. Reverse regeneration mode, that is RRM. And once the machine stops, then you operate again it mode 1. In mode 1, average output voltage is positive, current is also positive, power is positive, and it starts running in the clockwise direction. So therefore, in order to make the machine go from clockwise, run from clockwise direction to anti-clockwise direction, you have to brake it first. And similarly, when machine is running in anti-clockwise direction and you want it to run now in clockwise, you have to brake it first. So therefore, in order to go, your two actual modes are forward motoring mode and reverse motoring mode. In forward motoring mode, your machine is running in the clockwise direction, and in reverse motoring mode, the same machine is running in the anti-clockwise direction. But in order to go from forward motoring mode to reverse motoring mode, you have to go through quadrant 2. You have to go through reverse